Q&A series returns for Game Week 5, where we'll once again be taking a look at the FPL community questions sent in via Twitter. Jeff CR7 asks, is it time to give up Salah and go for Hazard for the next 4 game weeks? Hazard's form is giving us a real dilemma at the moment, and selling Mo Salah offers the easiest route to get the Belgium international. So it's understandable that last season's top point scorer is currently the second most transferred out player, ahead of Game Week 5, behind only Theo Walcott. But how do the two players compare this season? Hazard has featured in all 4 of Chelsea's opening games, but he's only started in each of the last 2, being eased back in after the World Cup this summer. In over 100 minutes less than Salah, the Chelsea midfielder has equalled his total of 27 FPL points from 2 goals and 2 assists, and the pair have offered similar potential in terms of attempted assists. But in terms of goal threat, there's one clear winner when it comes to the underlying numbers. Salah has taken 19 goal attempts to Hazard's 10, with 12 from inside the box to Hazard's 4. Hazard does have the benefit of being on penalty duties, but his goal from the spot this season has gone down as his only big chance so far, while Salah has been involved in 5 big chances. There's no doubt that Chelsea have the easier fixture on paper for Game Week 5. Cardiff are yet to find a win this season, having suffered a 3-2 defeat to Arsenal in their last outing. But Salah has scored an impressive tally of 5 career goals against Spurs during 6 appearances, including 3 league goals against them last season. So as tempting as Hazard is, if it's a direct choice between him and Salah, it could still be worth hanging on to the Liverpool midfielder. Stavra asks, is Lukaku essential for the next 4 game weeks? Lukaku made his return to the Man United starting lineup in Game Week 2, where he got off the mark for the season during the 3-2 defeat to Brighton. He's bagged 3 goals across the last 3 game weeks now, and no player has been involved in more than his 5 big chances, or taken more than his 12 shots inside the box during that period, beating Aguero with 11 and Salah with 9. There's big potential for Man United over the next 4 game weeks, where they'll face out-of-form West Ham and Newcastle sides, who are yet to find a win this season. West Ham have the joint worst defensive record so far in terms of goals conceded, with 10. At his £11 million price tag, it'll be hard to fit Lukaku in unless you're on a wildcard. FPL Top Bins asks, best replacement for Mkhitaryan? This is a question on the minds of many FPL managers ahead of Game Week 5, after the Armenian was dropped to the bench for Arsenal's win over Cardiff before the international break. Richarlison comes back into contention from Game Week 6 onwards, upon his return from suspension, but if you're looking to replace Mkhitaryan this week, Chelsea's Pedro could be a player to consider around that price range for a short-term option. 3 goals scored by the Chelsea winger this season is on par with Richarlison, Lucas Moura and Roberto Pereira. Only Sadio Mane has found the back of the net more times amongst midfielders. The Spaniard's tally of 6 shots on target is level with Mane, Ali, Schürrle and Pogba. Only Salah with 7 has taken more amongst midfielders. But if you're concerned about Pedro's rotation risk with Willian, or you're looking for a longer term solution, Leicester's James Maddison could be an alternative to consider. Amongst midfielders priced at 7 million or less, Maddison's 3 efforts on target this season can be bettered by only Pereira with 4 and Pedro and Schürrle with 6. Leicester have a kind run of fixtures running all the way up until Game Week 15, with Arsenal being the only side faced from last season's top 6 over that period. Nishal asks, best choice currently for a set and forget goalkeeper? Asmir Begovic stands out amongst the 4.5 million goalkeeper options in the short to medium term, with Bournemouth set to host Leicester, Crystal Palace and Southampton over the next 6 game weeks, in between away trips to Burnley, Watford and Fulham. Bournemouth have kept 1 clean sheet from their opening 4 games, but they've only conceded 2 big chances in that time, a tally equal with Liverpool, and no Premier League side have conceded fewer than the pair. Brighton are another side with a long run of good fixtures, bringing Matt Ryan into contention. Their next couple could be tricky, with Spurs and Man City in the next 3 game weeks, but save points are highly likely in those games, and between Game Week 8 and Game Week 16, Brighton don't face a single side from last season's top 6. Alexandru asks, who would be your first captain choice this game week between Hazard and Aguero? If you're going into Game Week 5 with both Hazard and Aguero in your team, there's a key decision to be made in terms of captaincy, with Chelsea hosting Cardiff while Man City welcome Fulham to the Etihad. Over the last 2 game weeks, Aguero hasn't been his usual self in front of goal, failing to find the back of the net from a total of 8 shots, 5 of which came from inside the box. However, the Argentine struck the woodwork twice against Wolves in Game Week 3, and he's provided more total shots, shots inside the box and attempted assists than Hazard over this period. Last season, Aguero scored 15 of his 21 league goals at the Etihad and had more big chances on home turf than any teammate. That trend has continued this season, with 13 of his 20 shots and all 3 goals taking place during Man City's first 2 home fixtures. Fulham have conceded 9 goals in their 2 away matches this season, compared to Cardiff's 5. Only Huddersfield and West Ham have conceded more away goals, with 10. And the final question for this episode comes from Taetoon, who asks, which are the players that are must-haves right now, or by next week on the wildcard? We talked earlier about Begovic and Ryan being potential set-and-forget goalkeeper options for the upcoming game weeks, while the attacking left-backs in defence continue to deliver consistent points. We've seen both Wilson and Mitrovic provide consistent FPL returns over the first 4 game weeks, with strong underlying numbers to back them up. Wilson remains top amongst all players for shots inside the box and big chances so far. With that in mind, here's a look at a potential wildcard draft for Game Week 5. David Silva is unfortunate to miss out. During the last 3 game weeks, the Man City midfielder has produced a league-high tally of 13 attempted assists, beating Salah's total of 11 over that period, and Hazard's 9. Richarlison remains suspended until Game Week 6, so in this draft, the plan would be to instead field Wolves defender Ryan Bennett, at home to Burnley in Game Week 5, and have the Everton midfielder in there ready for his return. You could perhaps look at an alternative option to Robertson, with his tough schedule, but the left back continues to impress in the final third, even if the clean sheets are to dry up.